Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you a video talking about Suicide Squad in a way I didn't really want to, but in a way I sort of figured I was going to have to eventually, whether it was for the review or a video on its own. And here I have with me is Lily. You can check out her channel. It's under my favorites on my channel. You can just go to it and click right on it. She does some pretty awesome stuff.
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't have too much on there. I need to get on that better.
Anyway, of course, today's the 3rd. Suicide Squad is going to be opening on the 5th on Friday. In some theaters, they're actually having screenings on the 4th. Chances are my review of it won't be out until hopefully sometime early next week. It's just the way our schedule is unfortunately mesh.
Yeah.
But at least I won't be like over a week late in this case, so that'll be nice. But anyway, this video is going to be talking about that apparently there was quite a bit of studio interference in the production of this movie, which, we heard rumors about like months ago about how there were various reshoots. Jai Courtney saying it was to add more action. And, so it's something we kind of we've been aware of for a while, but now to just get more confirmation on it, it fits. I'll read you a little article from Screen Rant before we really delve into our frustration with it. Alright. Suicide Squad arrives in theaters this week, but Warner Brothers' latest summer tentpole has already suffered from a lashing by critics. This came as a huge surprise for a lot of fans who have been eagerly anticipating the film. I'll skip ahead a little bit. Common criticism among many of the reviews, good and bad, is that the film doesn't flow well and is a bit of a mess, which seems to be a result of choppy editing. Goes into about how it was, talked about the reshoots and stuff, and then someone said it was due to the poor reception of Batman v Superman. And sadly, a new report suggests that the talk of studio meddling was not exaggerated. Multiple sources close to production reports that Warner Brothers brought in multiple editors uncredited in the final version of the film to piece together a lighter studio-favored version that was shown to test audiences alongside David Ayer's more somber version. It is uncommon to show different versions of movies to test audiences, and THR sources say that Ayer agreed and participated in the process in the wake of the first screenings, in which a studio-favored version with more characters introduced early in the film and jazzed-up graphics won. Warner Brothers decided to invest millions of dollars in additional photography to try and find the right tone for the movie. According to some sources, the struggle to find the right tone for Suicide Squad involved a lot of panic and ego instead of calmly addressing the tonal issue, and Ayer became very stressed by the process, not helped by the fact that Warner Brothers decided to pass up his follow-up film, Bright, 2 weeks before test screening. One source said that Ayer was under a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure from the studio, and during reshoots and post-production was exhausted and needed more time to process conflicting ideas. One source said the main credited editor for Suicide Squad, John Gilroy, who was involved with Nightcrawler, that was a recent movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, pretty well received, had actually left by the end of the editing process, and the final editor was Michael Tronick, who was editor for The Green Hornet. You can kind of see the contrasting styles there. The report is uncomfortably reminiscent of 2015 superhero debacle Fantastic Four, or Fanforstic, whose production was rumored to be a battlefield between director and studio, with the director reportedly shut out of the editing process entirely. There's no guarantee that it would have turned out better if Ayer had gotten his version out there, but that's basically the article. So, I probably didn't need to read that whole thing word for word, but the link for it will be in the description below. When I read it this afternoon, it just really frustrated the hell out of me and pissed me the fuck off, to be completely honest. I'm going to start by saying, I enjoy the Marvel movies. I've been a big fan of them since I was a kid and such. But I've always appreciated that DC is a little bit more serious, and so to see that Warner Brothers is sort of caving into all these fan complaints, or more like fan whinings about how serious in tone Batman v Superman was, and now they're caving into that and making all their upcoming movies lighter. This really annoys me. You can even see with the Justice League teaser they released at Comic-Con, there's a lot more jokes consistently lighter tone. It's not needed, and not every movie, not every comic book film has to be like Marvel. So that's my opening statement. What do you have to say about it?
Let's just keep thinking though to like the Justice League teaser that we had. Justice League is so much more than just what they were showing us. It's not that light and that kind of like fluffy. So it just really makes me angry though that the opinions of the few are dictating the end result for the many.
Unfortunately, it's a little bit scary that the people who criticize the tones are growing in numbers. It's a little bit frightening.
Well, because I think they're all kind of just jumping on the bandwagon.
Oh,
so it's
yeah,
like if someone starts an argument and then people think like, oh yeah, maybe I should jump on this argument too.
It's kind of become the cool thing to hate on Batman v Superman, so this might turn into another thing, but...
Yeah, it's like there was parts of Batman v Superman that I liked. For example, I liked the tone of it. I liked how it was a lot darker and how it set itself apart from what the Marvel Universe does. And that's what DC Comics is from the very beginning. It's so different tone-wise comparison to what Marvel does. Of course, the only other one that's closely related and tone-wise to what DC does would be the Punisher. The Punisher is a lot darker and a lot more serious. But then having DC, though, being watered down to meet the needs of the Marvel fans who can't really see beyond the fact that, okay, this isn't Marvel, this is DC, this is what DC does, that just kind of makes me angry.
Yeah. And, you have characters in there like Harley and the Joker who are naturally going to add a little bit more humor to it. But to make... I love the Marvel movies, like I said, but to just certain situations you don't need one-liners in, And that's what I'm really worried about here.
So it's just like me and you went to go see The Killing Joke, and I loved the tone throughout all of that. Like, yeah, Joker did have his moments where things were... He was trying to make him, in a sense, even in a dark way, a little bit more lighthearted. Where he is adding jokes in now and again, but... Like with that, it didn't take away from everything, so that was part of Joker's character. And that's something that, with any DC fan, new or old, or people who've been there since the beginning of time, like that about the Joker, of how he has those different complexities about him, but then his humor, though, doesn't get in the way of the serious shit that he's doing.
But, now to get more in particular about Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I remember, like, the first, like, promos and, like, previews and teasers we got for Suicide Squad. I remember it having a more serious tone than those first ones they put out. And now we see the newer trailers, which, are, cool to watch on their own, but I remember it having a more serious tone. It was a little bit more somber, as the article said. And I just think that would have fit in sort of, like, meshed with what Batman v Superman was in the same universe a little bit more. And... I really hope that Warner Brothers really sees the profit that the Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition had, and maybe they'll release like this whole alternate cut of Suicide Squad, or at least include some of the scenes they took out. And that's another thing in particular. When Jai Courtney said the reshoots were for more action, he wasn't really lying, but he probably can't go into much detail about it. But basically, I also, if you watch Chris Stuckman's review, who's really one of the best reviewers on the whole YouTube thing. One of his criticisms is, I guess, like in the second or third act, there's this sort of extended action scene or like final climax that feels like a little bit stretched, like there should be something in between it. And I feel like he basically said there are probably meant to be like little character pieces here that were taken out. That editing felt a little bit choppy. And so it's really funny that a lot of the main criticisms among the fans or the critics right now that are seeing it is that it feels choppy and messy, and that's because of the studio trying to change things around.
Oh yeah, the studio's sticking their hands in places where it shouldn't be. They might as well just rely on the director and the director's opinion of things and his creativity, instead of censoring his creativity to the point of where he can't do anything about it, that his original story is just being completely torn apart because, as I said, of the opinions of the few.
Yeah. But And so like then Jeremy John's review, it was good to see that guy be really positive about it. It's refreshing from the whole Rotten Tomatoes thing and stuff like that.
Well, Rotten Tomatoes, they're always kind of assholes though too. In all honesty, 'cause, like there are some movies that like are actually very, very good, very well done, very well perceived, but then Rotten Tomatoes gets their hands in it, and then it's just like, nope, it's like a 30-some% out of whatever. And that just kind of really pisses me off with Rotten Tomatoes. That's why I don't really rely on them too much.
Quick mention, it's like my favorite comedy of all time, pretty much without a paddle. It has like I think an 11% Rotten Tomatoes. Meanwhile, we have like these random Adam Sandler comedies, or just like random comedies we've seen over and over again, getting at least above a 30%. I think that's
which makes no sense.
But anyway, this isn't about Rotten Tomatoes right now.
I know, I'm just like...
Yeah, I kind of went off on something, so...
Yeah, so see, we did it together.
Anyway.
Embracing frustration.
Both Jeremy John's review, he mentioned, there's this great bar scene we've seen in some of the previews where they sort of like reflect on things with each other and stuff, which I'm sure will be one of the better moments of the movie.
Excited.
But I feel like we probably would have had more character-driven, like dialogue, conversation-type moments that were probably taken out, which really annoys me. And I'm all for action. I think it's going to be awesome, but we need sort of like quieter, more subtle moments like that too.
Yeah, you need moments of character building instead of being one action scene to the other, where you're just like, okay, we've seen this before, it's going to make it somewhere, but there's no substance.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I'm still really looking forward to the movie. I'm planning on enjoying the hell out of it. Really can't wait to do a review. Like I said, it'll probably be sometime in the first half of next week when I get it out. It's good to hear it. Apparently they still do well with Will Smith's Deadshot. They emphasize his backstory quite a bit, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Harley should be awesome.
I'm really excited to see her because I still love the design, even though I'm still kind of obsessed over the New 52 version of her. And I got the comic too, so look at that New 52 Harley.
Look at
that, she's so cute.
Like, it's still kind of funny that they didn't have Margot Robbie do a Brooklyn accent, because apparently she's done a Brooklyn accent pretty well in a bunch of other movies.
I think they just want to be different, though, too.
Yeah, but when I first seen, like, just a clip or a picture of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn when it was first being worked on, I just knew she just had it, she embodies Harley Quinn, and really
I can
can't
see her
wait.
really doing that insanity really well. I think, though, I'm a little biased right now because I still love the New 52, though. I just love the insanity that's driven in it from beginning to end, and I love it so much.
Yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about the studio interference with David Ayer and stuff like that. Your expectations for Suicide Squad. At this point, I still think we need to support the hell out of it. I still think it's going to be an awesome time. And I really hope Harley gets that, sort of spin-off movie we've been hearing about.
It's needed. It's so needed.
And so I'll catch you guys next time. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, look for rantswilda.com, like, subscribe, and peace.